Hello, Oracles! Elon has it solved. What does he have solved? Does he have anything solved? We don't know. Elon had posted a cryptic tweet the other day saying Deus X Machina, and based upon the Wikipedia definition we've got English, God out of the machine is a plot device whereby a seemingly unsolvable problem in a story is suddenly and abruptly resolved by an unexpected and unlikely occurrence. So this to me is, alluding to a few things. Obviously we can all speculate. We're not going to know for sure what this all means, maybe in the future, but looking at how he used the letter X versus EX in his tweet leads me to believe that they have come up with some sort of resolution and solution to this Twitter problem. Now, the unlikely occurrence could possibly be burnt hair. Now, just in case you missed it, or to refresh everyone, burnt hair was the cologne that they were offering through the Boring Company that Elon had been selling over on Twitter that last we knew was selling over 20,000 units for $100 each. We talked about it previously how, this could have been something that Elon was doing to encourage other financial backers to come in and support him, saying, hey, look, I could take this random product that has nothing to do with this company whatsoever and be able to drive revenues coming in for the platform. So that in turn could have enticed some of these financial backers to say, you know what? That is legit. You have shown us that this is possible. We are now going to financially back this situation. So perhaps he has these financial backers and he's not going to have to sell any more of his Tesla shares. Again, this is all just speculation. I do not know. I mean, we could also be talking about, the machine out of God could have been something like FSD. Elon also did tweet that Smart Summon is almost solved and finalized. So that should be coming as well. Maybe that was it. Maybe there was something that was unexpected that they came up and they said, oh, light bulb went off. This is how we solve this problem. Again, we don't know for sure. This is all speculation, but just doing my due diligence, looking at the fact that he used the letter X versus EX tells me that this is probably Twitter related, and I have a feeling that something has come up where they have come to a resolution. Now, we do have earnings that are coming up tomorrow on the 19th, and then the Twitter court date is scheduled for October 28th. So I'm wondering if we are going to get through earnings and then they are going to be announcing that they have come up with a deal for Twitter and Elon will be purchasing that before they even take this to court. But those are just my guesses, and Shawn over on Twitter put down Contrivance, which is intentionally arranging something to happen by clever planning, resolutions, not drawn directly or logically from the preceding plot, and defy even the broad concept of suspension of belief. Again, going back to the burnt hair thing, I wonder if this was a thing that Elon did just to say, hey, you know what, screw it, let's see if this works. And it did. So this to me is just telling me that this is the direction that we're going. Again, we don't know for sure. Hopefully we'll find out soon about this and see what it actually means. But we'll get through earnings, and then if we have this, we're going to take a look at some of the gaps that we have in the charts right now. We did create a new one yesterday down to 205. So we've got gaps going in both directions. So I think when it comes to earnings, we're going to be testing that 223 level. Right now, pre-market at the time of this recording, we are over that. We're over $224. So we've seen this happen before pre-split when we were at those 313 levels, which pre-split were around the 940 to 945 level, where we pushed through a little bit and then came back. So just paying attention to this, if we can break through and close above 223 today, I think that is a good sign going into earnings. Now, of course, earnings can go either direction. Nobody ever knows which way earnings are going to go. So we'll see how we trade after that. But if we can push up past earnings, I think we end up pushing higher, end up filling that gap at 235. So again, with the gaps down below us, though, we've seen it happen in the past. We push up, and then for some reason, whatever happens, we end up pulling back to fill these gaps below us. So looking at the gaps that we have right now, we've got 235 and 265 above us. We have 205 and 187 below us. Those are the two closest gaps in both directions. So as we trade into earnings, we are going to see how these go. And obviously, once we get the earnings numbers, which we will have the live stream on here. So I'll jump on as soon as I can. I'm going to try to get home around that 4 o'clock time from work, so I'll be able to jump on here and be able to do that for you guys. We'll go over the numbers, and then we'll go through the entire earnings call later on a second live stream. So that there in itself will be able to probably tell us which way we are going to move one way or the other. And so if earnings beat, I have a feeling we are going to fill that 235 gap above us. And then if we find out that Elon has figured out the Twitter deal situation and does not have to sell any shares, we will probably fill that 265 gap shortly thereafter. However, if it goes the other way around and Tesla misses earnings, we may end up coming down to fill those gaps below us. And if we get news from Elon from Twitter saying that he does have to sell more shares, we'll probably pull back even further. So again, a lot of this is going to be news driven, at least specifically for Tesla. But again, the ranges that we look at when it comes to the stock price are going to be dictated by the macro environment, which is still an extremely heavy blanket on us right now and will be for most likely the next 12 months. And now some news that we are getting out of China. Looks like we have rumors that are coming back up and resurfacing that they are going to be cutting prices of the Model Y over there. We are getting Troy Teslike and James Stephenson saying the same thing. They're kind of seeing the writing on the wall that we are most likely going to be seeing a price reduction over there. Perhaps they're going to address this on the earnings call. We don't know, but we've already seen what happens when it comes to demand delay over there when there's just the rumors of price cuts coming. When there were just those rumors at the end of the quarter, a lot of people were holding off on their deliveries, anticipating that price cut coming. So again, this is now a resurfaced rumor that's coming out. Not sure if it's actually going to happen, but just kind of seems like it truly will happen. Just makes sense. Elon himself has even said that the prices are embarrassingly high. So I know Elon wants to come down on the prices. Is this the time to do it over in China now or not? We shall see. We also got news yesterday that Tesla is going to be opening up a warehouse in Illinois, which is about 667,000 square feet. That is a monster warehouse. Not really sure what this is going to be used for. It does not sound like it's going to be any factory related anything. So maybe it's storing supplies. My thought could be maybe it's Amazon warehouse like. Maybe they're going to be storing some of the most popular trim type vehicles in there to be able to speed up deliveries. You know, right now deliveries could still be out up to 6 months here in the US. So perhaps they're looking to build up the inventory. We've seen them building up inventory as it is. Maybe this is done intentionally. Then they can store the vehicles there, and instead of people having to wait 6 months, they'll be able to get these out faster. And somebody says, hey, I want that base version Model Y long range in the gray, which is like I have. And they're like, all right, cool, we've got one in the warehouse. We'll get this shipped out to you. You'll get it within a week. So that's just my thought. I don't know. Obviously, we know that Tesla is selling every vehicle that they produce, but this is a way that they could be able to cut down on some of the lead times that are coming, especially in anticipation of the EV tax credit coming next year. Perhaps they've got this warehouse coming up so they could put all of these vehicles in the warehouse to be able to shift them out and deliver them sooner. Or perhaps this warehouse has an entirely different purpose whatsoever, and you guys can let me know in the comments below what you think it could be used for. We also got news yesterday that GM has unveiled their production Celestiq. So that is coming out in 2024 with a price of $300,000. So we hear a lot of people giving Tesla crap for the price of their vehicles, especially going into a potential recession. And how are they possibly going to sell these vehicles when people don't have money? And they also say that competition is coming. Well, if GM is the competition that's coming and GM has a vehicle that's $300,000, please explain to me how GM could possibly be able to survive this recession and sell their vehicles if Tesla can't sell theirs for $60,000. And then in some other unrelated news, Shell over in the UK has closed down all of their hydrogen refilling stations. So they only had 3 of them, and they closed them down because they said that the technology that was in there has now become obsolete, and it's, they can't upgrade it anymore. So they're closing those down. And of course, we didn't get the infrastructure put behind it or any vehicle needs that were put behind it to necessitate these hydrogen filling stations. So they did say in the future it's a potential depending on which direction the world goes, but obviously right now we're looking for EVs, so these hydrogen stations have been taken offline. So again, looking at the charts, right now we're looking good pre-market up to 224, so hopefully we continue to push higher from here. Again, going into what's going to be happening for earnings, no idea what's going to happen. Obviously, we've seen it in the past before. Tesla can smash earnings and the stock sells off. We could see a miss in earnings and the stock could go up. So I don't like to play earnings that way, one way or the other, because things can happen. There could be one mouse fart in the room and all of a sudden some analyst is like, that's the reason we need to sell the stock. So totally random things that come out. So I don't play these. I'm just going to be able to go over the numbers with you guys. And again, when it comes to the earnings, I'm looking at the fundamentals. Are we seeing the growth that we want to see? Are we seeing positive movements in the company's direction when it comes to everything? When it comes to energy, where are we at with those? Where are we at with margins? How's operating margins? All these things are the things I'm going to be paying attention to. Whatever happens with the stock price happens with the stock price. I'm focused on the fundamentals of the company. And so let me know in the comments below, what do you think Elon has solved? Do you think he has solved anything, or do you think this was just a random tweet that actually means nothing? So you can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And tonight, Steve Gagliano had brought up a good point. You know, he was asking about price targets. You guys had all given me your price targets at the end of August for what you thought would be at the end of the year. So on tonight's video, we will go over everyone's price targets and see who will end up being the closest and who is the closest as of the time of that recording. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.